Hello, we are looking at section 1.7, dealing with midpoint and distance. And as you can see in 1 and 2, we have two different examples of using a midpoint or finding the middle between 2 points. And number 1, we have coordinates or ordered pairs that you could put on the coordinate plane. And what we do with that, we have x values in red, x1 and x2. And we have y values in blue, y1 and y2. And here is the formula for that. Here's where you can see we're adding the x values and dividing by 2. And here we're adding the y values and dividing by 2. So I simply take those x values, 1 and -3, add them to get -2, divide by 2 to get -1. And in the blue values, my y values, I have 2 and 6. I add them to get 8, divide by 2 to get 4. And this represents our midpoint, the x value as well as the y value. And number 2, we just have two values. So this is on a number line. So we just want what's the middle point between -6 and 7. We simply add those numbers together and we get 1/2. So here, as you can see, we have one value and above we have. Looking at number 3, as you can see here, this is just like number 1 as well as number 4 and 5 are all, or I'm sorry, 4 are both like number 1, where we're looking at our x values, adding them, divided by 2, taking our y values, adding them, divided by 2, and that is our answer. As well as number 4, adding our x values, dividing by 2, adding our y values, dividing by 2, and that is our final answer. In 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9, finishing it out, we are looking at distance, which is a different formula. So here we're taking the square root of the difference between the x values. So same place here, we're subtracting them. We're squaring that value, then we're adding it to the difference between our y values and adding it to. So that looks like a y, it should be a 2 right there, y2. And so I'm just simply taking these values. So 1 minus -2 is 1 plus 2. That becomes 4, which we square, we get 16. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 squared is 0. So I square 4 to get 16. I take the square root. What times what is 16? That's the same number. That is 4. So the distance between that is 4. And then we're following through with 6 and 7. So with 5, we get a whole number. With 6, we get a whole number. And this sometimes can happen here where well, this one we also get a whole number, but just larger numbers, still following the same steps. Difference between our x values, square it. Difference between our y values, square it. Add them, and then if you can, take the square root. Once again, doing that here. This time, we don't get a whole number, so it asks us to round to the nearest hundredth or to the second place. These squiggly lines mean an approximation. So this is an irrational number, so it would go on forever. Therefore, we're just asked to round it here, and I get 11.66. Here we're looking at 2 points, so we need to find these values. A is 0, 0. B is -3.6. Subtract my x values, subtract my y values, square those values, add them, and take the square root. Here it asks us to round to the nearest tenth, so 0 does not make that go up. 10, 11, 12, 13 are all coming from our previous quiz. So please take a look at these problems. I've worked through them on different videos, as well as you can work through these on your own as well.